What is up, my dude and dudettes, and welcome back to TellerTube. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/Choosingbeggars. If you guys are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. And with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. You should pay all our rent, we're doing you a favor. Okay, so this is a story about my sister-in-law and her useless boyfriend. Sister-in-law is my wife's sister and is a terrific person. Useless boyfriend is decidedly not. In the Choosing Beggars section, he's the gift that keeps on giving, like chlamydia. In April of 2020, having lost their jobs due to COVID, they moved in with us rent-free until they get back on their feet. We're happy to have sister-in-law. She's been absolutely terrific, pitching in around the house, spending time with the family, and being my wife's best friend. This is decidedly not true of useless boyfriend. He locks himself in their room playing video games all day long, he complains about the food, and only recently agreed to chip in for high-speed internet, which he kept demanding we pay for, and otherwise makes it clear how much of an imposition it is for him to live in our home rent-free. Sister-in-law was finally able to get a full-time job last month. Their finances are still a mess, but things are improving, and she said they'd move out in the spring. Honestly, we're all going to miss her. Useless boyfriend? The best I can say is I don't care if the door hits him on the way out or not, just as long as he's on the other side of it. Our oldest son is 23 and moved about 30 minutes away back in fall of 2019 so he could be close to his work. Thankfully, he's remained employed full-time despite COVID. In the fall of 2020, he renewed his lease for 1 year in a nice but small studio apartment. Recently, a fantastic job opportunity arose for our son. He's moving much further away, which is sad, but it's a great opportunity and we're happy for him. The largest problem for him is his lease, which still has 10 months to go. He spoke with his landlord, who is a good guy. The landlord said he'd be willing to let our son out of the lease ordinarily, but with COVID, he has several tenants who haven't paid rent for a while, and he can't afford another apartment generating no income. He agreed that he would let our son out of the lease the moment he could rent the apartment to someone else. But the market has been really slow and he doesn't know how long that would take. I don't blame the landlord a bit, he's being fair. Looking to get out of the lease sooner, our son suggested sister-in-law and useless boyfriend move in. He would move out February 1st but pay for February and March. They would pick up the rent in April. This would give them 2 more months to get their finances in order and he'd only be out 2 months rent. And as an added bonus, it's closer to sister-in-law's job and would cut 10 minutes off her daily commute. Everybody's happy, right? Everybody except useless boyfriend, that is. Looking at the apartment, he complained it was too small. He complained that they'd have to pay for food and utilities, you know, the things he enjoys for free because my wife and I are paying now. He complained he'd have to set up his computer in the living room instead of the bedroom. Then he dropped this little nugget. With utilities, it's going to be higher. You should pay all our rent, we're doing you a favor. My son assumed he misheard him and restated his offer. He'd pay for February and March, they'd resume payments in April. Nope, not good enough. To useless boyfriend's way of thinking, our son should pay their rent for the remainder of the lease. 10 months, and let them live there rent-free. Sister-in-law was mortified at useless boyfriend for trying to take advantage of our son, her nephew, that way. After months and months of listening to him complain about his suffering while others paid for everything, she finally had enough. Useless boyfriend, I like this place so I'm moving in, but you're not. When we get home, you're packing your stuff and I'm driving you to your mother's. No more free rides, we're done. Our son called with happy news on multiple fronts while they drove home. Instead of 30 minutes, they took an hour to get home and we were a little concerned. We called and she confirmed everything was okay. So we assembled the moving boxes for him so he could start packing right away. Why postpone the party? He walked in the door to find everything he needed to pack up. Apparently on their ride back, useless boyfriend was whining and complaining about their breakup. They stopped to talk for a bit, at which he said something, sister-in-law won't say what, that creeped her out and she asked me to drive him to his mother's, which I was more than pleased to do. We drove about an hour to his mother's place without speaking. I helped him carry his stuff to the porch. Out of politeness, I extended him hand and wished him luck. He stared at me and didn't say a word. There was no thanks for letting me live with you for free for almost a year, or tell sister-in-law I'm sorry. He just stared like the petulant child he is. Sister-in-law is doing really well. We're going to miss her moving away, and especially our son moving quite a distance away. But useless boyfriend? We will miss him about as we will last week's recycling. At least the recycling can be turned into something useful. Chief, how are you complaining for so much when you're living for free? No, you guys need to pay for better internet connection. I need to be able to play my video games. Donkey. Karen lost 2 left shoes, demands a replacement, and argues about price. Okay, so I work at a shoe company which, to be clear, sells new pairs of shoes. We received a call today from a woman who bought 2 pairs of our shoes over a year ago, I think longer because the colors are no longer available, and told me somehow she lost both of the left shoes from the 2 pairs she had. She asks if we have any kind of replacement program, which we do not. I explain that fact and tell her I will look into a solution if she tells me which model she has. While trying to identify which shoe it is, she was constantly talking over me, making it not only difficult to help her, but also to tell her things she is assuming wrongly and guessing. Extremely irritating. After we figure out which model she has, I confirm that we no longer have one color, but we still sell the other. She sees the price and says that's much higher than she paid 1 to 2 years ago, even though they were on sale. Just for clarity, these are a particularly high-end pair, third from the top in terms of price in our catalog. She then cites that she sees the same pair on a different site for much less. I tell her that if they are on another site for less, they probably aren't ours or the same, but maybe similar. The site she referenced was overseas, so not ours. She then begins to pick apart the differences between our pair and the pair overseas, which is obviously completely besides the point and not solving anything. So I told her to let me see what I can do and I'll call back. In the showroom, I find one sample of a left foot, same model and size. Lucky, right? Wrong. I call her back to let her know the good news and let her know that I luckily found a sample one left in her size and I offer to send it to her for free, not even charging for shipping. She then asks if there's anything I can do about the price because she wants a pair for her daughter. I tell her I'm sorry, I don't control the price, and again, these are a very high-end shoe, so I can't give any higher discounts on a sale item. She seriously asked me several different ways if they would ever have a bigger sale. But seriously, I'm sending you a single shoe that's normally $120 a pair for free, and you can't buy your daughter a pair for 20% off. Really? Oh, Karen. Yes, I know it's my fault for losing the pairs, but I still think you guys owe me new pairs for free and a pair for my daughter. Shake my head. Was reading the subreddit and it reminded me of a choosing beggar I know in real life. So I have a second cousin who is notoriously entitled, expects free work from pretty much everyone because we are family. Not normal family favors, but things like house reno from my dad for free, the whole house. Expecting her mother to fly into town to babysit her 8 dogs for free while she goes on vacation. She will use emotional blackmail to try and convince people to do what she wants, and it usually works. Here's where my story starts. So I get a text message from Choosing Beggar. I, 33 female, messaged back out of courtesy because Choosing Beggar is family after all. Choosing Beggar tells me that she needs a person to help her out with one of her optician courses. She has to demonstrate her ability to fit contact lenses. Conversation goes as follows. Choosing Beggar. Hey OP, I need a model to help me with my optician course. Me. Okay, so tell me what the deal is. Well, I would bring you to my class and we would fit you with contacts. You keep them when we are done. So I just need to let you fit me with contacts, pass your course, and I keep the contacts. Yep, that's all. I just need you for a few hours in the afternoon, then you are free to go. Okay, yeah, I can do that for you. Great, I'll pick you up at X time on X date. Great, let's get in touch a few days beforehand. For sure. Fast forward 2 weeks to the day before we are doing this thing. Me. Hey, just confirming we are still doing your test tomorrow. Choosing Beggar. Yes, I'll pick you up at X time. Okay, great. I will pick you up at the same time on X date. You said it was 1 day for just a couple of hours. Well, yes, to do the fitting, but the other one is a follow-up. You never said anything about a second date. Well, we need you for the second date to determine how well they fit and if you're going to keep them. You said I gotta keep them either way. You also need to wear them every day between the first and second appointment. That's not an issue, but why didn't you tell me about the second appointment right away? Also, when I pick you up, you should bring $100. $100 for what? A deposit for the fitting and contacts. You said this was free because I was helping you out with your test. I get the contacts for free to use for my test. You're paying me to keep them. Okay, so let me get this straight. You want me to volunteer my time and eyeballs for your test because you don't want to pay for someone to be your test subject. Yes. You also expect me to pay you $100 for free stuff you didn't pay for. Yes, so I'll see you at X time tomorrow. No. Choosing Beggar ended up failing the test because they refused to use one of the people provided to her because my patient is on her way. She knew I wasn't showing up and blamed me for costing her a grade. Oh my goodness. Hey, yeah, so I need to use you for a couple of hours. Oh, also, you know how I said the contacts are free? Yeah, you gotta pay me $100 for those. Oh man. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button as it would really help me out. Subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with my latest videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.